How many of you have woken up in the middle of the night with a silent, persistent question echoing in your minds? Why am I here? Not in a loud, movie kind of manner, but a very soft voice, nudging, unmistakable. Why am I really here? I have, and not just once, many a times. You see, for a large portion of my life, I lived it exactly as per the rule book. Great education, check. Great job, check. Climbing the corporate ladder, triple check. Worked in multiple Fortune 500 companies for many years. But somewhere, as I was working between business meets and the boardrooms, between KPIs and dashboards, between the clients and the suppliers, I just felt I was drifting, floating, perfectly fine on the outside, a hollowness on the inside. Something disintegrating within me. How many of you sitting here have experienced this feeling before? And the question that came to me wasn't, what should I do next? Which next job should I take? Which city should I go to? The question that haunted me was, where can I make a difference? What matters to me? Very haunting questions which kept me introspecting, not easy to handle or not easy to answer. And these questions made me dive deep into a sense of reflection, into a sense of introspection. And I started to dive deeper to see where I can align myself. I realized that life is all about aligning yourself, aligning between your values and your actions, your intentions and your outcomes. And somewhere this alignment was missing. And as I was trying to decode this purpose, I went back to kindergarten. Not really in the area of crayons and chalks, but in something which I devised slowly, which I now call the kindergarten chart for a purpose-driven life. And today, my dear friends, I'm going to introduce this to you. So you're going to visualize this right in front of you. Imagine a big quadrants, 4 quadrants, Q1, quadrant 1, Q2, Q3, Q4. You have the 4 quadrants in place. Visualize it right in front of you. It worked like magic for me. So let's look at Q1. What are the things that I love to do and which I luckily do? Now I use the word luckily for a reason, because it's not necessary that what you love, you may actually do. For example, I used to travel quite a bit in my job because it was a sales job. I also love travel, so it was a lucky mix. I also did a lot of transformation training and coaching when I stepped as a freelancer, and I also loved it. So I was luckily in the first quadrant, which I call as the initial quadrant for decoding your purpose, Q1. Let's look at the second quadrant. Things which I love to do, but I don't do. From my college days, I've always loved singing. I used to sing here and there at college gatherings, at work, in family gatherings. But somewhere, I have really not given it justice. It's somewhere lying in the corner of my heart. A lot of singers meet me, and when they hear a few of my lines, they say, "Hey Deepak, why did you not pursue this?" And I really don't have any answer. It's something that I love to do. For some reason, it has never happened. So it remains in the second quadrant, which I now call as a wish list. It remains as a wish list with me. The third quadrant, right on the right. Things that I don't love to do, but still I do. It's a very interesting quadrant. Remember, it's a kindergarten chart, very easy to understand. Questions are very easy, answers can be quite difficult. Why do we do things that we don't love to do? And I was trying to analyze myself. During COVID time, I used to wash dishes, clean the floor, for the sake of my wife, for the sake of the family. At work, I used to do a lot of spreadsheets, reports, for the sake of my career. So I realized that there are a few pressures that we have, like family, finance, career, some of the hard ones. We also have something called as peer pressure. A lot of times we do things because others are doing it. We have duty-bound pressure. We also have self-image pressure, keeping up the self-image. And that quadrant, very interesting quadrant, which I call is the devil's basket. The devil's basket. What I love, what don't love to do, but still I do for whatever reason, because you're forced to do it. And the fourth quadrant, the right one below, is what I don't love to do and I don't do. Might seem obvious at first, but I found it very beneficial to list out those things because it also has a hidden potential. For example, I don't love loud parties and I also don't indulge in it, so that's good. It's kind of there. I'm also not very comfortable in swimming underwater. I don't love it. But a few years ago, I happened to get into snorkeling when I was in Maldives, and then later I got into scuba diving and became a PADI certified scuba diver. And I overcame that particular quadrant, and I found it as a hidden potential to discover something new. So the fourth quadrant can be quite powerful and quite revealing, is what I felt. So let's go over the four quadrants again. The first is the starting point of purpose, what you love and what you do. You can also call it as an Ikigai, which is defining the purpose of your life. The second quadrant is your wish list. Your third quadrant is a devil's basket. And the fourth is my choice and a hidden potential. And this led on to understand what are the activities that I do and how can I define them, for which I came across a beautiful Venn diagram. It's a very simple diagram. I love simplicity. It's called as is, want, should. What am I doing? What do I want to be doing? What I should be doing? Simple. Even a kindergarten student can understand these questions. There are times I am doing something which I want to be doing, but I shouldn't be doing it. For example, long back when I was in college, we went for a train trip to South India. I still remember it distinctly. And in this second class train that we were traveling, between two bogies, there's a ladder to go on top. And guess what we friends decided that we wanted to do was to climb the ladder to go on the roof. Should we be doing it? I wouldn't recommend that even to myself today. Very scary. Even when I think of it, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. Quite a scary episode. There are things that we are doing, which we want to be doing, what shouldn't be doing, living a life of guilt. Sometimes there are activities which we are doing, which we should be doing. A lot of my activities are corporate life, but we really don't want to be doing it. We're living in a world of frustration. Sometimes there are activities which we want to be doing, and we should be doing. But hold on, we're not doing it. We are living in a world of illusion. So between guilt, frustration, and illusion, our emotions keep running around. And I found it for myself, these emotions running around with me as I did various activities around it. It is only when you are doing something that you want to be doing, that you should be doing, all the three circles in one concentric line, that there is some sense of purpose, some sense of success in that particular activity. I am giving this TED talk at this current moment. I want to be giving it. It's been my dream. I should be giving it. There is no faction of a mind which is thinking otherwise. There is no doubt in this particular activity. Every part of my being is right now here in this current moment. I am doing what I want to be doing, what I should be doing. And this is something which we call as an activity which I own, a purpose-driven activity. Now, I'm saying all this, it doesn't mean I've decoded everything or I've achieved the highest state of activity or nirvana. I still fall. I still stumble. I still get up. I still fall again. I still get up again. But now the difference is that I have these small yardsticks, these beacon lights, these lighthouses to guide me to sense and take the right decision. And that's the point. Purpose is not really a mountaintop summit. sitting having a cup of coffee. It's really a journey you take. Every choice, every decision built one step or the other. And the three questions I keep asking myself, very powerful questions, is what makes me come alive? What makes me lose track of time? What do I want to be remembered for? And these questions seem to form a sort of a boundary around me as I define every choice and every area in my life. Now you might be wondering, what's all this got to do with AI? Now here's my take. In a world completely driven with AI towards sustainability, we are talking about algorithms, arithmetic, and artificial intelligence. And I use a lot of AI in my work, in the business that I run. It's all about efficiency. What we really lack or need is empathy. It's not how fast we compute, but really how deeply we can connect. And it's only when we connect to anybody or to a group of people can any sort of intelligence or intuition make sense. So AI in a sense is quite complementary to a human intelligence or a human being, if I may say so. And AI going towards generative AI and evolving even further needs to be tackled extremely well. Because the more we tackle it and the more we understand it, we realize that there's one thing that AI cannot take away from us. And that's our underlying essence, our why. And I realized for myself that what's my why? What's my internal individuality, which will remain consistent within me, irrespective of whatever happens around me? What's that core why that's there in me? And that's something which AI can never really take away from you. So as we move ahead, I realized that the core strength of a being is to understand this particular purpose in our lives. Because as we move into a world driven by AI and into a sustainable world, which is future-proof, that human touch of purpose, that changes everything, which I feel is an idea worth sharing. Thank you.